Hello, this is Tania Gabrielle, Wealth Astronumerologist, and welcome to your full moon in Gemini forecast for December 14th, Universal Time. Now, we've come to that point in the year when the winter solstice is preparing us for a brand new 6-month cycle, and actually a whole new 9-year cycle come January 2017. Now, it's the summer solstice in the southern hemisphere, and winter solstice, of course, in the northern hemisphere. So it's a really important time where we enter the cardinal signs, which always introduce a new season. So this Gemini full moon happens right before the cardinal sign of Capricorn. And so it's a very sacred moment, and it happens on the 14th of December, 12:04 a.m. in London, which means it's actually December 13th in the Americas. But because the official universal time is on the 14th, I'm going to look at that date. So 12/14/2016 adds up to the number 17, and that should ring a bell because 17 is part of the 2017 year that we're about to go into. So it's really a preview of what's coming up. And 17 is all about abundance and immortality and leadership. And coupled with a Gemini lunation, Gemini is all about the mind, and it rules being inventive and being liberated and playful and childlike, and of course being ruled by the planet Mercury. There's communication involved and there's intelligence involved, and looking at what your perspective is. So we want to look at Mercury actually because Mercury rules mind patterns and the ideas we have, and we really want to make sure that those ideas that we have are ones we want to keep, because happening on a 17 universal date and a 14 universal day, so it's the 14th of December and the whole date adds up to 17. Those two numbers are about communication, sharing, and immortality and leadership. So what we communicate, what we're integrating, what we're thinking about will leave a lasting legacy behind. So you really want to focus on things that reflect love and reflect light, and not, really take that moment to move away from energy that is taking you too much into the mind, where you're overanalyzing, and taking you more in a place where the mind and the heart are connected, so that the information that you share really feels integrated with who you are as a soul being and a being of light. So think about how you're reflecting light in the world and how you're using your mind to feel empowered. The number 17, like I said, is about immortality and power. And so it is really abundant and full of energy. And so what you're thinking about now and integrating now is really going to affect your decision-making process moving forward. So make sure that what you're focusing on is what you want to leave behind, is really the impressions you want to leave. One of my mentors said to me that whenever you've stayed somewhere, for example, a friend's home or a hotel room or any new place, you want to leave the place more beautiful than when you appeared, as if an angel came through and left beautiful gifts. So this is what you want to do with your life. You want to leave the earth a better place for having lived a life that has a beautiful perspective, that's rooted in the light and the love of the divine. So this is your moment. This full moon before the new 9-year cycle is your moment to do that. So that's really the main message. But there is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful grand trine with this full moon that it makes between the moon and Mars and Jupiter. And this is very, very optimistic, energetic energy. You're going to feel like there's a sense of wealth and abundance with Jupiter. There's a sense of energy with Mars and forward momentum, and integrating it all in your heart. So this grand trine is allowing this the whole idea is the mind patterns, the perspectives that you're generating now to move forward in a very, very positive way. Grand Trine is just so special and fortunate, and it really allows this new journey of your life to feel like it's meant to be, like it was written in the stars, because it just feels so good. And what I love too is that Saturn is conjunct the sun for this full moon. Now, in a full moon, of course, the sun is opposite the moon in order to make that full moon. So the sun is in Sagittarius and the moon is in Gemini. That's why it's a Gemini full moon. But with the sun in Sagittarius, it's actually merged with, joined with Saturn, conjunct Saturn. And so everything that you're doing now is going to be rooted in a very secure way. You're going to ground the energy. It's going to leave a lasting effect. This Grand Trine I was just mentioning is in the air signs, right? It's in the air signs of Libra and Aquarius, and of course Gemini, where the moon is. But so air signs are fleeting. They're more about liberation and moving quickly. And then Saturn, being conjunct the sun, is going to make sure that no, we're going to really integrate this energy. We're going to digest it, and we're going to explore it and make discoveries that actually are lasting. So Saturn will make sure that what you discover is digested and grounded so you can manifest it. And that's also what leaves that lasting effect. And then it's also a very playful energy at the same time. It's not all serious. Saturn conjunct Sun is definitely very serious. But then the Gemini influence with the moon makes it very fun and flexible and playful again. And then there's one more aspect to tell you about, and that is that Uranus and Jupiter are opposite each other. And this is a very important theme we're in, which is the liberation of abundance. So Uranus liberates everything it touches. It's about freedom and excitement and the unexpected and your genius. And so when it's opposite Jupiter, there's a balance that's happening in the cardinal signs of Aries and Libra, right? Very important. These are very activating signs, very forward-moving and new beginning signs. So it's happening in Aries and Libra. So Uranus and Jupiter, when they are opposite, they're balancing your joy with freedom. So you need to really make sure that everything that you're focused on is what brings happiness to you. Remember, Jupiter in Libra means relationships, and this theme of relationships is going to be the big theme until October next year. And so we are all focusing on our intimate one-on-one relationships, business and personal. Bar none, that is a huge theme, probably the most major theme we're all dealing with, because relationships, of course, define so much of who we are. And so this opposition with Uranus, and oppositions are also about bringing two sides into balance, so they actually are about relationships. It's really allowing you to look at how to approach every relationship from the point of view of, does it bring you joy? Does it liberate you? Or is it holding you back from feeling that joy, from feeling free and happy? So that's another big theme. So we have a big emphasis, by the way, on Jupiter, and Jupiter is the ruling planet of Sagittarius. We are in Sagittarius right now. The sun, of course, is in Sagittarius. And Jupiter is really, really emphasized and magnetized during this full moon, because the moon itself is trine Jupiter, the sun is sextile Jupiter, Pluto is square Jupiter, and Uranus is opposite Jupiter. So this is really a big deal, because when the planet of the sun, opposite the moon, when the planet that rules the sun, in this case Sagittarius, is really lit up in lights, and that planet happens to represent expansion and abundance and fortune and wisdom, and allowing you to feel like, eternity is the only limitation you have, meaning life is limitless. Jupiter's the largest planet in our solar system, and Jupiter wants you to go for it with no hesitation. Just enjoy and live at large, right? So this is a very, very wonderful time to just feel that abundance in your heart and move forward with it. So I hope you really take this moment of integrating the mind with the heart and use that inspiration, the in-spirit, right, to take you to a place in the last couple weeks of the year where you're liberating yourself of the final vestiges of these last 9 years, 2008 through 2016, the last things that are just no longer part of your life, where friendships are brought into balance and relationships are brought into balance and ideas and goals are brought into balance, right? The moon is all about balancing out your life. So I wish you all the best, and if you like this video, I know you're going to love my free weekly forecasts. I release them every Sunday, deliver them into your inbox, and just sign up below if you want those free weeklies where I go more into detail for every day of the week. So have a beautiful Gemini full moon, and I will see you for the Capricorn new moon, the final lunation of the year, in our next video. Thank you so much.